They're really bad at
Hello.
counting down things.
What did you say?
I said really bad at these countdown things.
It's Discord. Well, hello everybody. We're here to live react to
Hi.
chapter 395 of My Hero Academia. As I'm a little laggy on Streamlabs, it looks like.
It might be because it's not going through Shamus for the camera.
Maybe. But my viz is also lagging as well for the chapter.
Well, to be fair, I'm also lagging, and I usually don't do that through the podcast, so... who knows? As long as it doesn't cause problems.
Alright, so chapter 395, Built Upon the Joy of Others.
And looking at it some more, yeah, it looks like we're at the aftermath where all of the stuff
the togas are falling. Ida was at that battlefield?
Oh.
Or is that the police officer, Tsukijiro or something?
I don't know.
It was just an aftermath of all the doubles disappearing.
That whoever that is gets sliced across his face pretty bad. Face and
that is
chest.
I want to say that's Hawks. Because he even says Gene was a pretty good guy.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
I have a feeling that's Hawks.
Plus the short blonde hair, or at least lighter color hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair assumption. I guess we'll find out for sure at the end, probably.
Yeah, and then Toga's like, I thought I wielded my knife to become those I love, but I wound up gripping it out of rage and hatred. All in order to make the world easier for me to live in.
And we see
Uraraka on the ground.
Uraraka
appearing to be passed out.
With Toga just standing above her, nude, as per usual.
Well, yeah, because she can't keep the clothes when she goes out of her copy.
Yeah.
Oh, and now she's having the blowback from the other quirks.
Up in the chain, zero gravity, giving them a gentle landing.
She's giving everyone gentle landing, so Uraraka is still awake.
I'm so cold, lost so much blood to my head and my body. Don't even feel connected. I can't move a muscle, but I gotta keep moving.
She is beat up. And there's a double innuendo in Toga's line. In the end, you never let anyone down hard.
Yeah.
As in with talking to them or letting them down with her quirk.
Yeah.
Nice little innuendo. Or double entendre. And then we have
multiple meanings.
Yeah. And we have Toga remembering how Uraraka said all the stuff about her in that final bout last chapter. Because Toga's only a teenager as well. I'm pretty sure Toga's only a teenager.
Oh, what's going on here? Hold on.
I'm not on the chapter right now because I'm actually looking this up. I want to say Toga is a teenager. Yeah, she's only 17.
Huh.
So she's still young.
I guess that makes sense.
She's only like a year old than the main cast. Because you figure about a year went by. They started, when the series started, they were 15 joining the school. About a year's gone by. Mm-hmm. So they're 16 now. So Toga's only a year older.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't like the implications of this.
What's with the sure freaking onomatopoeia?
Where?
In this first panel on page 6.
Oh, that's shivering. She's cold.
Oh.
Then look at the next panel. That much blood loss will be fatal.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how much blood she has lost that she's feeling that cold and shivering. The Sinnoh Chaco, the League of Villains will destroy everything once the dust settles. I know that world. I know that world will be easier for me to live in. And it shows all the villains, how cold she is.
It goes
Slurping up some blood.
She's drinking her. She switches to Uraraka.
You would say, I know I said it's live or die, winner takes all. But the thought of a world without you?
It looks like she's going to use her
I don't
machine
like that.
to pump her with blood.
Because she became... because she became a clone. Or a duplicate.
Yeah.
And to see how to show how genuine these feelings are, all of my blood is now yours to have.
Is she sacrificing herself?
No! I mean, yes, but no!
Is Toga right now sacrificing herself for Uraraka? So we were both wrong with our prediction last week.
That was going somewhere else? Yeah.
Yeah, so...
It was not the end.
I'm taking a little second here. I'm taking a break after that panel.
Absolutely, that's fair. I want to continue reading and find out what happens.
Don't go too far ahead.
I'm finishing the page. You can't stop me.
Because I'm doing a little editing on the Streamlabs. If my computer would freaking load faster.
I feel better about reading that page now.
Oh boy. Boy oh boy. Or as the dude from Fairy Tail would say, boy yo yo yo. That's like second or third episode. That's so early.
Wow.
It's the first mission Lucy takes with Natsu.
Okay.
And Natsu kind of conned her into it.
Of course.
It was hilarious though. Do 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 do. Oh, wowzers. Come on. Come on. Thank you. There we go. We got a Toga on screen now.
All right.
And now we just need a Uraraka. Uraraka. I definitely don't want fan art.
Yeah, no.
That's bad territory. That's bad territory. She's underage, so things that people do with fan art of hers, and it's ugh.
I'm intrigued to see that it's not a full-on copy as well.
What?
She's not fully Ochako.
It's a quarter of her face is still like Toga.
And her hair as well, and her teeth, and in general, I think it's not fully like a fully clone transfer, whatever you call that.
So cloning was Jin's ability.
Copy, yeah.
She's
She's a copy. That's right.
Yeah, cloning was Jin's
copy.
ability. Or twice.
The man made too many copies of himself. He lost the sauce and forgot who was the real one.
Bro.
Went
He had
crazy.
some freaking PTSD over that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it should have been easy to know who wasn't the copy. The one who didn't die from damage.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna go punching himself, no, was he?
He did. He was stabbing himself.
Oh God,
You don't remember that?
no.
We get that like when we first get introduced to him. There we go. Now we got Ochako over there and Toga over there. See, the original stream, the original this setup was based off of our predictions. So it's like, okay, Deku's on one battlefield, All Might's on another, or not All Might, All for One's on another. So we'll use All Might and All for One and Deku.
Yeah. Well, that was wrong.
That was way wrong. Granted, we still have half a chapter left.
Yeah.
Uraraka's even saying she shouldn't be doing this.
Yep. And Togo's going about when she almost died, twice saved Brazil in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's got to become Ochako to save her. And then Ochako says, no, don't. Because I guess, I don't know, doesn't want her to die like a hero.
And then she's asking if Uraraka was planning to visit her in person and visit her in prison to make the blood donations.
You could have been finding Danny just catching villains, just eliminating the freaks in the world, just doing the right thing.
Like a plain old hero.
Plain old hero. Yet. You went above and beyond, spared a thought for someone who hurt lots of your friends and who was out to stab you full of holes. You were kind of weird. Oh,
So
no,
it's
she's
like-
passing out.
It's like Toga's spilling herself a second time.
Mhm.
Uchako's freaking out.
Here, want to talk? You can't do this. I live and love as I please.
Not wrong.
Yep.
Can't let you catch me like I can't let me bear to get away. I'm sorry for stabbing you. I'm sorry for screaming at you. I mean it.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
Oh wow! And we get a 3/4 panel spread.
Next page. Ah,
And the only thing that's not Uchako is her head now.
yep.
And she's
Thank you.
saying how
You made me
Uchako
so
made her
happy. Truly, genuinely happy. I wanted to become other people so badly. So, in fits of jealousy and affection, I drank all of their blood.
Now Uchako's crying.
Maybe, just maybe, if I'd known this feeling sooner, then despite how badly I wanted to drain their blood, I would have yearned to give my blood away too. If I'd experienced that sort of love, I maybe would have had an easier time living in this world. In any case, I am Himiko Toga. I live and love how I please. That's how I made my way in life. Just a normal girl with the cutest smile in the world.
And her hand
Oh,
is limp.
no.
She's dead.
Uh-huh. No. You can also see most of her quirk fading away as well.
Mhm.
The outfit.
To be
Man.
continued. Break week next week.
Okay, well that's the end. This has to be. I'm gonna say it. This has to be the end of this because we saw Toga's hand go limp, and now, assumedly, Ochako is stabilized.
Ochako?
or at least not dying.
It's a Chaco.
Whatever. I don't know how to read her. I've never known how to pronounce her name. So
Ochako Uraraka. Or you could just call her Zero Gravity. That's her hero name. Or Uravity.
all right,
Uravity.
Uravity. That's actually way better than Zero Gravity.
Uravity is her hero name.
Yeah, Uravity. That's
Zero
that's a pretty
Gravity
good
is
one.
her quirk.
Mhm.
But
We can assume now, though, that she's stabilized in some form or fashion.
when was the last time you saw a villain give up their life like this to save the hero?
Did that happen in My Hero at all? I don't think so.
No, this is the first time in My Hero. But I'm saying
Yeah.
in manga, anime in general.
In general, I don't recall at all.
I don't. I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen in One Piece because Jinbei's the one that gives the blood to Luffy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Bon Clay,
Yeah,
but
at
there's
that
no
point,
confirmation
Bon
if he's dead or
Clay,
not.
that too, and also at that point, Bon Clay wasn't an enemy.
Mm-hmm. Bon Clay became friends with the Straw Hats at the end of Alabasta.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could technically say Frieza in Tournament of Power. But that wasn't
but
death. That was just knocked out of the tournament.
hmm he was already dead. That's why.
You can say Vegeta gave his life when he became Majin Vegeta.
Yeah.
Piccolo.
Piccolo, definitely, yeah.
But it's backwards. Because Goku gave his life.
Yeah, that event, though.
So it's not the villain giving their life for the hero.
It was a hero giving his life for the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Piccolo
technically,
wasn't
that
really a
same vein, you
villain
could
anymore.
say he wasn't. Yeah. In that same vein, you could say when he gave the sense of being to Cell.
Oh, he gave his
Not really.
Goku gave his life in that battle too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Cool.
Like,
this is why I didn't want him for parents, because it was two separate occasions he disregarded his son and gave his life.
yeah.
Granted, he came back quicker from the Raditz incident,
Oh yeah.
but he left Gohan alone for 7 years and wasn't even there for the birth of his second son. And like at the end, up all the way through the end of Z, he didn't acknowledge Goten as his son. Once.
Yeah. Well, also, that begs the question: how did he have Goten as a child?
Goten's like 7.5.
Oh, is he?
He's
Okay.
7 in the Buu saga. Chi-Chi was pregnant with him, like early pregnancy when Cell arc happened.
Okay. That was something I was unsure of.
Yeah, I can't think of another instant where the hero,
You mean the villain
the
gives life for the
villain
hero?
gives their life for the hero.
I guess. No, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say Anos from the School of the Misfits. I can't remember the full name of the show right now.
The Misfit of Demon King
But he's
Academy.
also, yeah, he's also technically not a villain.
Who's the main character?
Exactly.
I guess you could say Aaron.
Yeah, he could.
You could say Aaron. But then again,
Yeah.
the way Aaron's character is, it's more complex than hero or villain. It's more complex than anti-hero as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say one from Sailor Moon, but then I realized, wait, they regained their memories and realized that they were Prince Endemion's or Mamoru's personal guard. That's why they did that.
Yeah, they realized. Yeah. I can't think of any. I really can't.
You haven't watched Naruto. It's a possibility of
What?
one in Naruto. But then again,
Okay. I have not gone anywhere in Naruto, so.
yeah,
Yet. I haven't started yet.
it's another Aaron situation because he's on one side, then the other, then back to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is from my recollection. No, because Scar switches sides.
Who?
I was thinking Scar from Full Metal, but he switches sides completely.
Mm. Which invalidates your argument for him.
I mean, Greed from Full Metal, probably.
Yeah, that'd probably fit.
Von Strauss from JoJo's.
Who?
The Nazi in JoJo's. Oh, can I even
Stroheim,
say,
gotcha.
Stroheim, can I even say that?
Well, he wasn't. I can't say that. He wasn't really a bad guy. He was all about the pride of Germany. That's what it was.
But he was against Joseph, and he was against Joseph, but he was also against the masked people. I can't remember.
The Pillarmen, yeah.
The Pillarmen. So it was more of like an enemy of my enemy is my friend situation, kind of like Goku and Piccolo in the Saiyan saga.
From what I recall of part 2, unless I have it wrong, I think it was just mostly in the beginning. Stroheim was against
during the final battle.
Stroheim
was all on Joseph's side, but during the hunt for the stone, when Lisa first tries gets the stone stolen from her because her assistant, I can't remember her name, the one that Joseph ends up marrying, gets taken. Over, her body gets taken over. And yet the hunt for the red stone, like the first half of part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of many like this. Like, I can think of ones that are close but not exact.
I can't even say Dio for Joseph in part 3 because that technically doesn't make sense.
No,
unless
Dio
want
was
the Dio fight.
Dio wanted to kill all the Joestars.
Yeah. Yes, he did, but then he stole Joseph's blood. So then, at the end, after Dio's defeated, Jotaro
he stole Jonathan's body.
Yes, but the thing is, he stole more of Joseph's blood to power himself up.
Yeah, it's been a while since I finished reading the manga.
Yeah. After Dio is defeated, and half his body's burnt away in the ambulance.
I got it.
Jotaro starts pumping his blood back into Joseph, and he revives him. But technically, Dio's already dead, so. And it was his blood originally.
Oskenlad.
Who is it?
Oskenlad from Vinland. He is Thornfinn's villain, and he pretty much gives his life up so Thornfinn can get out of the revenge cycle.
Yep. I can indeed agree with that.
Well, granted, it was He says like the reason he did was because of his pride as a Welshman, because he was Welsh nobility.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to take out the Danes for the pride of the Welsh, so that's why he killed King Sven.
Yeah.
But deep down, he actually cared for Thornfinn. I mean, he practically raised Thornfinn, and he wanted Thornfinn to get out of the cycle of hatred and revenge, because Thornfinn was still just a kid.
Completely fair.
And when Cantu killed Oskenlad, Thornfinn had that little fit of rage, and then he realizes, because even in the slave arc for the second season, when Thornfinn has these nightmares, he sees Oskenlad, and Oskenlad is giving him advice to better himself, to become a better human, to get out of the cycle of revenge, to get out of the blood, to get out of the killing. It's because of the ghost of Askenlad and these like Valhalla dreams that Thorfinn has is what kind of turns Thorfinn into a pacifist and learn the way of a true warrior. Well, that's a good example of the villain, because technically, like, when you're watching season 1 of Vinland Saga, Askenlad is not really a villain. He's the leader of that Viking group. But they started off with this in the anime instead of it being later on, like in the manga. It's like chapter 4 or 5 when the childhood of Thorfinn starts. But they started off with episode 1 in the anime. You see Askenlad kill Thorfinn's dad.
Okay.
So that's where he gets his like the villainy. He killed the main character's dad. He's a villain. In the manga, we don't see that right away. So Askenlad isn't introduced as a villain right away. But where do you think we're going next week? This has to be the end of this battlefield. If they give if Horikoshi, or not next week, the week after, break week next week. If Horikoshi does anything more at this battlefield, he might do like a page or two.
Yeah, and then still move on to the next one.
And then move on to the next battlefield. I still think we're gonna go to All for One and All Might.
It's between that and Deku, Bakugo, and Shigaraki.
Well, I remember Bakugo
it's between
is still dead.
Well, yes.
Edgeshot is trying to save them, and Edgeshot doesn't even know if this will work.
I think we'll have a reveal sometime soon. Like when we go back to that battlefield, I think the first thing we're gonna see.
I don't think it's gonna be the first. I think
no. Listen, I'm gonna lay it out here. It's gonna be Deku being angry. We're gonna start the fight with Shigaraki.
If the fight already started.
Did it?
Yeah.
You mean what? I mean, between Deku and Shigaraki?
Yeah, you had the chapter where.
Oh.
You had the chapter where Bakugo died, and then a couple chapters later, Deku shows up, has the rage moment, and gets calmed down by, I believe it's Mirio.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And then the fight starts, and then we start going to other battlefields.
Yeah. So actually, since we already had that, we're gonna get a little more into the fight, and while the fight, and then like as it's starting to like dwindle down,
it's gonna be a couple chapters of the fight before. It's gonna be. I don't think it's just gonna wake up. I think it's gonna be a progress check, because someone else is standing there with Bakugo's body. It's not Mirio. I think it's. I don't think it's Aizawa either. No, Aizawa is there.
Well, like, so while the fight's happening, like the end of each chapter could be like, okay, check on Bakugo. Is he up? No. And then after a couple of chapters go by of the fight, it's gonna be okay. Bakugo's awake now, like.
If it succeeds, because Edgeshot even said he doesn't know if it's gonna work. He's never done it. Of course, because Edgeshot's still alive. This takes Edgeshot's own life.
Yeah. So if it succeeds, and when Bakugo wakes up, it's gonna be okay. Deku was on the brink of defeat. We got Deku Bakugo going again.
I think the way it's gonna happen is the chapter where Bakugo wakes up is also the chapter where All for One shows up.
Really?
I think that's what's gonna happen, because you figure All for One's on the battlefield with All Might. All Might can't do nothing. All Might's going to die in this arc. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All Might is going to die this arc.
Most certainly. Which all happened last time we fought All for One.
I think we're gonna get that before we go back to the Shigaraki battlefield. Because granted, we're gonna be going back in time a little bit in the timeline and universe. Next chapter. So I think we're gonna go back in time a little bit, back to when All for One first showed up in front of All Might, or All Might showed up in front of All for One. We're gonna get that, then we're gonna go back in time again, right after Deku gets calmed down and the fight started with Shigaraki. We're gonna get that, and then All for One's gonna show up, and then if it succeeds, that's when Bakugo would wake up if it succeeds. And then it'd be like kind of like a 2v2, but once All For One shows up, he's gonna merge with Shigaraki.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to wait and see to actually see what happens.
yeah. I still can't believe Toga gave up her life. I didn't think Uraraka was in that bad a shape.
Well, let's see. She was stabbed somewhere in the midsection, so it's kind of got some vital organs in there. So even if it didn't hit a vital organ, she's constantly bleeding because she's constantly moving towards Toga, and that's requiring her midsection to move. It's requiring those core muscles.
Yeah, I didn't.
So every time she moves, she's gonna be bleeding. And Toga even says in that thing, is like, you moved around and talked too much in the fight, you caused yourself to bleed out.
And where they're at, not many people are close.
They're kind of far from people.
So I think those first couple pages I mentioned about Horikoshi doing on this battlefield would be the people reaching them, confirming Toga's death, and getting Uraraka on medical support.
Immediately,
and then we'll transition over to the next battlefield.
I can see that, yeah.
Anyway, a little shorter of a video today.
Shorter of a chapter?
Short, yeah, very short chapter. It was only 15 pages. But Saturday we'll be recapping. Join us Saturday. We'll be recapping the spring anime. There is one spring anime that I will not have finished by the time that happens, and that is Oshinoko, because I actually fell in love with the dub after I tested it. Fell in love with the dub, and the last episode of the dub comes out next week on August 2nd, which is their first performance as an idol group.
Ooh, cool.
So that's the only one I won't have finished for the recap. Other than the ones I didn't even bother to watch. Like, I didn't watch Dead Mount Death Play and several others. But they're all lower. Those are all lower end ones. I always try to watch like the big ones and ones that catch my eye.
Which is fair to do that.
Which, like, the big ones were Demon Slayer, Hell's Paradise, Dr. Stone, Oshinoko. There's one other big one. I guess Yamada, My Love Story with Yamada at level 999. It was a big one.
Do you mean Mashal? That be the other
big
one?
Yeah, Mashal. My Love Story with Yamada became a big one, but I think that was one of the lower end ones that caught my eye. The I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World and Became Unrivaled in Real World 2 caught my eye. And there's a couple others. Kuma Kuma Bear.
Yep.
And of course, a continuation of Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible and Vinland Saga. Which, I don't know if you noticed, the Nier Automata drop on Sunday wasn't just episode 9. It was episode 9 through 12. It was the rest of the season. Was it? They dropped the rest of the season.
Oh. Interesting.
So, we might talk about that one as well, but probably not, because it's technically summer season when they drop the rest. Then Sunday we have our classified episode, one before the season finale, where we're going to get our last character for the season finale bracket.
Yep.
Monday, I believe we're doing a One Piece theory video, because One Piece is also on break. Don't know if we're going to do anything for My Hero, because there's not much theorizing to do other than what battlefield we're going to, which we already discussed here to fill some time. And what's going on? Since it's the two main battlefields left, I can see the next chapter going to each of the battlefields that have finished.
Yeah, covering those before we even touch the next ones.
Yeah, like what we mentioned about this battlefield, the Dobby battlefield, because the last thing we got was like distant shots, and it was hard to make out which character was which.
Yeah, see who's still alive over there.
Yeah, like it could be that, but that's pretty much all the theorizing that we can really do for My Hero. So we might not have anything next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Still trying to get Tony caught up in Chainsaw Man, so we'll have Tuesday ones. Hopefully soon.
If that happens.
If that happens, you're only like 15 chapters behind.
Is it only 15? Oh yeah, we did read some the other day, yeah.
Let me look at the chapter list. I think yesterday chapter 135 dropped. There hasn't been break weeks in Chainsaw. I know you can see what the most recent chapter is.
Mm-hmm.
But I have what chapter we're on.
Latest chapter is 137.
137, so I'm 2 weeks off. Holy shit.
Well, it just came out yesterday, so...
Time's killing me. Ooh.
I don't know where we're at. Is it like around 117?
I think so.
Around there? Like +2, -2? Maybe even -3?
No, we're definitely past 115.
Past 115?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're on 117.
Oh, so spot on guess from both of us. Not bad.
So, you're 20 chapters behind.
That won't take too long. Okay.
No, especially because Chainsaw Man chapters average like 14 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get him caught up in JJK as well, but that's too many chapters. He'd have to start at chapter 50 something.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
And I'm on chapter 197 myself, and I believe chapter 229 recently dropped. If I look here, yeah, 229 dropped, and then the next 230 comes out on Sunday. So, anyway, that's the stream. Thank you for joining us. Shorter one today, but it was a pretty quick, not much to go in depth with this chapter. It wasn't like the One Piece chapter where there was a lot of stuff to go into, plus a huge reveal for a certain pink hair character.
Mm-hmm.
Plus it being a shorter chapter. The One Piece chapter was 20 pages. This was only 15. But we'll be back with... Who's it coming on? I think Taco and Sage might be coming on, or Taco and Kush might be coming on Saturday for the wormhole.
Yeah.
And then
that sounds
all 6 of us will be here Sunday for the classified episode, which is gonna be a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Fair warning for the classified episode. I know we started with the total favorites from Mal last week with Best Parents. We will not be doing that this episode since we already had these rankings pre-selected due to the nature of the episode.
Yeah.
But it will be the final piece of the puzzle for our season finale, which, going over season finale, here are the 15 participants so far. We have Shanks from One Piece, Eren Yeager from AOT, Ervin Smith from AOT, Iroh from Avatar,
Yeah.
Ichigo from Bleach,
Yeah.
Yoruichi from Bleach, Grimjow for Bleach, Claire from Claymore.
I can't go higher than that.
Your mic's like cutting you off too, like you're hitting the mic cap.
Perfect. That's all. That's all that needs to happen.
Pain from Naruto.
Yeah.
Shinobu from Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
Kenshin Hitokiri Batosai from Rurouni Kenshin.
Ah.
Envy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
It's like a side thumb. Yeah.
Madara from Naruto.
Yeah.
And
Hey, that's a double.
and
If I had more thumbs, I'd put more thumbs up.
Shikamaru and Tamari Nara from Naruto.
They just got a single thumbs up. Yeah.
And of course, we'll be getting our final person.
Whoever wins next week gets a yeah. Well, actually,
Which, if I had to guess,
yeah.
I think I have a pretty good idea who's going to win next week.
That being.
Oh, I'm not going to say because that's going to give away what the classified bracket is.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What am I thinking? After we
I'll let you know when we go off air. But that's the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see y'all Saturday for our spring recap.
Bye-bye.